We're on YouTube now. Let's just go ahead and set up this Instagram. But do you guys actually, like, in your heart, truly believe, no sarcasm, no joke, that I am actually at risk from the CIA? Actually, like, genuinely. Bro, I think you're gifted. I think you're a great comedian also. Thank you, Mexico Blow, man. Hey, I appreciate the donation. It means so much to me because, you know, it speeded up this project so much. You know, like this right here is thanks to you guys and your donations. The bandwidth that we got, man, like that's 100% you guys right there. So, you know, it means so much to me and it really does help. So thank you so much, man. And of course, I appreciate your support as well. All of you that are here showing support. All right, we're live on Instagram too. All right, there we go. We're live on Instagram. All right, we're live on everything now. So now let's get started on what we're talking about today. And you know what I like to get? I always like to get my microwave parts because I like to demonstrate. And actually, we have this machine at a level right now where I can actually kind of demonstrate how we're going to mount these microwave parts. What's up, Instagram? I can actually demonstrate. Where are my gloves at, though? Oh, I forgot the name. What's up, everybody? Oh, here they go. Get my gloves in here. So, guys, listen. You guys see Mark 4.5. Once again, I always like to start my streams off just once again saying thank you to all of you that have donated because we're here because of you guys and your donations. Got the manual. It's just tacked on, but we're going to finish welding it. But since this machine is on its side, I'll show you how we're going to mount the magnetrons and the not the transformers, the magnetron. All right, now listen, guys. You know what we do here? We educate, we give the information. We don't gatekeep. Keep it real. But I don't give this information with no expectations. The expectations are that you listen to what I'm saying. So I'm telling you guys right now, I'm warning all of you. Because we're live on 4 things right now, and I'm warning every single one of you on everything we're live on. There will be consequences if you get this wrong, and I will test you on what I'm about to tell you, okay? All right, so you see this right here. This is called a magnetron. Now, this is what is in every single microwave oven. This is what creates microwaves, okay? Here's the thing about these magnetrons. We need these on the reactors because it's a microwave pyrolysis reactor, right? And we need to make microwaves, so we need a magnetron. Thank you, Lewis, for $5 on Cash App. I appreciate your contribution to the project and to history, man. Thank you so much, Lewis, for the $5. Now, we're making microwaves, right? We need this. Microwaves, you look at this thing and you think, okay, it's making microwaves. The microwaves are going to shoot out like a gun, like a barrel. No, they shoot out of the sides. So we cannot just drill a hole and just put this on there and expect it to work like it needs to. We need what is called a waveguide. What is a waveguide? This is a waveguide right here. A waveguide is like a barrel for microwaves. So you see, this has a hole up on the top, right? This is one of them I built for my past reactors. We mount this in there. You see that? Now it's in there. Like I said, it shoots off of the sides. And what happens is microwaves reflect off of metals, right? So since microwaves reflect off of metals, it's going to reflect off the sides. Bing, 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 bing. And then this waveguide is what's mounted to the actual reactor, right? It reflects off of the waveguide, which is like a barrel for it, and it gets funneled into the reactor itself. If you were to just take one of these and mount it raw, if you were to just mount this, drill a hole, mount it, you would have a few issues. Not only would you have leaks. We got a badge on Instagram from EQ2K23. Thank you so much, EQ2K23, for the badge on Instagram. I appreciate you and your contribution to the project. I appreciate you so much. So if you were to put this raw on the reactor, not only would you have leaks that come from that hole, because this would not be a seal at all, but the microwaves that come off of this would not be funneled into where you need to do, where they need to go into the plastic, right? You need the barrel. This will be the equivalent of just firing a gun with no barrel. The bullet will not have any sense of direction. It will just be stupid, right? There's no point. So we take the waveguide, take the magnetron, mount it onto the waveguide, then mount the waveguide onto the reactor. Boom. Okay? Now that you understand this, everything will start making sense. Memory on Instagram, thank you for the badge, Memory. I appreciate you so much. You're a real one. Matika Rolak on Instagram with the badge. Alfie Doe with the badge on Instagram. Trizzle with the badge on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much. We're at 5 badges on Instagram. I appreciate you all for your contributions to the project. So, now that I explained that, waveguide, magnetron, take a look at this. You should be able to understand what this is now. Okay? And in fact, I'm not going to tell you. You tell me. Okay? You tell me. This was my past machine. This right here was Mark IV. Mark 4.5 is in very many ways going to be similar to Mark IV in its design. Okay? Thank you, James, for the $2 on Cash App. I appreciate everybody who's donated. I appreciate you all. So, Mark IV. Let me ask you guys. As you see, Mark IV has these boxes on here, right? Now, these are the magnetrons. These are where the microwaves come from. But what are these boxes the magnetrons are attached to? What is that called? Tell me right now, or there will be dire consequences. There will be dire consequences, okay, if you answer this wrong. What are the magnetrons connected to on my Mark IV plastic to fuel reactor? That's right. That's right. There we go. Okay, I'm seeing favorable results. Thank you for the donation on TikTok. Let's see your name. Blue-eyed God Reborn. Thank you for the donations on TikTok. Instagram. What is the answer? You guys on Instagram are not answering. Oh, here we go. Waveguide. Okay, what about YouTube? Waveguide. What's up, Bill Brown on YouTube? Okay. Look. Look, I was afraid I was going to have to take my balls for an early morning dip in your mouth. But fortunately, you all got it right. So we don't have to do that. Great. So now you understand. This is what we're all about. We want you to understand. Because I can just show you me building the machine. I can just show you the blueprints on the measurements. But if you don't understand why, then what is the point? You have to understand why we do these things. Why do we have this here? Why do we mount the magnetron to it? Otherwise, you're going to look at this machine and just see a whole bunch of metal put together and just be like, so what? It's just a whole bunch of metal. No, it's not a whole bunch of metal. How would you feel if my balls are in your jaws, right? And your jaws are split apart and I just say, so what? It's just skin. No, you want me to tell you what it really is. You want me to tell you right now there are three massive circular spherical objects splitting apart your jaw. You want me to tell you what it is, not just downplay it. You need to understand what this machine is and how it works and why we put the things in there that we put in there, okay? We need these waveguides. It's not a question. You have to have these. And on top of that, you need to have these in order to seal where the microwaves come in. And that way you can keep it airtight so the gases don't escape. Because you look at this, this is open. We have to seal this, okay? I told you if we were to just raw dog this thing in there and just drill a hole and then just mount this on there, it would leak the vapors. We don't want to leak the vapors. We want to make sure every single vapor is contained and captured. I told you this machine has no emissions and no waste, okay? And we're not going to make it have emissions from stupid reasons, like just trying to raw dog this magnetron and drill a hole in here. We have to use a waveguide, okay? That's period. All right, so I'm glad everybody knows that now. Great job, class. Let me see. Let me catch up on these Cash Apps here. Sandra, thank you for the $3 on Cash App. I appreciate you for your contribution to the project. Let me see on TikTok. I feel like I saw somebody donate on TikTok. And I don't believe so. Okay, nobody donated on TikTok. What's up, Tyree Malik on TikTok? I'm my good old moderator there. Okay, so no. See, the waveguide is not a condom. No, that's not. No. Anyways, so that's why we have the waveguides. So now that you know that, now you know. I told you guys, you need one waveguide. AEK2K23 with another badge on Instagram. I appreciate you. All right, so listen, guys. Thank you for your donation. I told you guys, we need the waveguides, right? For every magnetron. Now, every magnetron is the equivalent of a single microwave, right? I told you guys we're going to be putting 8 to 12 on this thing, right? So that means this would be the equivalent of turning on 8 to 12 goddamn microwave ovens at once. Okay? That's a lot of power. Thank you for the heart on TikTok, Buzzman. Okay, but for every single magnetron we put in there, we need a waveguide. So this is actually a very simple question, and you guys should be able to get this right. So you know what? I will ramp up the consequences. Okay, I will ramp up the consequences if anybody gets this wrong, because this is a very simple question. Here's my stick. As a matter of fact. Okay, listen. How many, just counting, okay, based off of how many waveguides you see on my Mark IV machine, how many magnetrons? What was it the equivalent of? What was it the equivalent of in microwave ovens? So what is Mark IV the equivalent of in how many microwave ovens? So we turned on Mark IV, how many microwave ovens were we turning on at once, right? If you were to put it power-wise like that, okay? Just looking at what we got. This is a very simple question, okay? Surely nobody will get this wrong. Surely nobody. And this is for Mark IV. This one right behind me, okay? It's just simple counting. Surely. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Guys. Why are you guys saying 4? Why are you saying 4? Oh man, that's tough. Oh, that is gonna be so tough when my left cock is in your esophagus tonight. Because there's only 3. There's literally only 3. You just count. 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 magnetrons. Why are people saying 4 and 6 and 10? We don't even see it. It's just 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 3 magnetrons. It's the equivalent of turning on 3 microwave ovens. 25 kilowatt hours of electricity per 5-hour run. That is what it is. Okay? Now the consequences are dire. We up the stakes. Now you guys will listen to me. See, that's why we have to do these things. That's why those of you that answer wrong are going to have a sore throat for the next few days. Because now you will listen. Thank you, Blue-Eyed God Reborn, again on TikTok for the donations. Okay? So, no, so you're still wrong. What are you saying 8? You're not even close to 8. We're putting 8 on the next one. But here's the thing, guys. Look at this. So you look at the difference, okay? 1, 2, 3, right? And you can see the magnetrons underneath. Let me flip this around. Watch this. You see? We got 1, 2, but these have no magnetrons on them. They're just the waveguides. What is that? Well, those are mounts. So Mark IV could have up to 5 magnetrons on it. I only ever did 3 because I could barely figure out how to contain the heat of 3 magnetron microwave transformers from causing an electrical fire, let alone 5, right? We have a different strategy on how we're going to manage the electronic heat with the next reactor, Mark 4.5. But the point is, I tell you guys 8 to 12. We're going to put 8 to 12 magnetrons on the next one, right? That essentially means it's going to be the same as this. We're going to have 12 of the waveguides, but we may only have 8 magnetrons on it once. But if we want 12, we can put 12. You see what I'm saying? So it's customizable depending upon what you want and what works. Because I put 5 mounts on here, right? But guess what? I found out that 3 was enough. 12 is probably overkill. Keep it real. 12 is probably too many. Well, we're going to always put more than too little, right? That's like the philosophy you want of everything in life. Because if you put too little, then it's not, you know what I'm saying? If you have too much, you could always take out. If 3 of my balls in your mouth is too much, I can just put 2. I can just put 1 if you have a really small mouth. But if we don't have enough to begin with, then it's not going to work up to par. So we're going to put way more than we have to. We're going to put 12. I know 12 is overkill. We probably will only need 8, maybe even 6 on it once. We'll see. We'll figure it out, okay? So, that's the thing. Because every single one of these, I have to build by hand. So I have to build a lot of these by hand. I have to build 12 of them by hand. Okay, it's going to take some time. We also have to build the auger blades. You see the sheet metal behind me? By hand, once again, I'm going to have to cut out a whole bunch of metal rings because I don't have a plasma cutter or a CNC. I literally have to do it with an angle grinder by hand. Cut out. I actually counted how many it needs to be. It's going to be like 30. Well, we're going to 2-ply this thing. So we're going to have to cut out like, I think 50 rings or something like that. And then we cut slits in them, weld them all together, stretch them out like an accordion. We got our blades, put the shaft on the end of them. Boom. Slip it in this reactor, guess what? Bow! Bow! Put it down in there, just like that. See what I'm saying? And you see the benefit to a man way. Because you can open it, put the blades in, do your maintenance, right? And then you can close it and make it airtight again. Right now, I don't have the rest of the mounts up on here, but this thing usually has these right here. See, this is amazing because I have the perfect demonstration model right here by my side. Because this was a once functioning machine. This is the perfect thing. See these knobs that twist? They clamp that thing down on there, right? And this has the same thing. I just took them off because we're welding it, not trying to damage it while we're welding it. So, you said your brain hurts? Well, trust me, if you get my answers wrong, there'll be a lot more than your brain hurting tonight. So if I were you, I'd answer my questions right. All right? Your whole skull will be hurting. Your cranium will be hurting, okay? From the inside out. So, let's go on to the next part. Waveguides, magnetrons, electronics. We went through all that. We understand what we have to do. Have to build 12, but I might only mount 8. Might try 12. This thing is going to consume a lot of electricity. So we're going to run it off of generators. Now, I know most of you in here are in here because you've seen my videos online, right? You've seen my videos on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. And what do I always say in my videos? We're turning plastic waste into gasoline. We're turning plastic waste into diesel. We're turning plastic waste into carbon. Whatever I said that day. I say different things. But what I haven't made a video on is that we turn plastic waste also into natural gas. We turn it into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, carbon, and natural gas. People don't see the natural gas products. People sleep on the natural gas product because you think it's not a liquid fuel I'm holding in my hand. Who cares? It's not a physical. It's invisible. Who cares? But the natural gas product is one of the most important products of this whole process. And I'll tell you why. We get the most natural gas than anything else in this process. We get more natural gas, energy speaking wise, than gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. Well, we do get a lot of carbon too. So I guess that competes. They're a competitor. But the point is, the natural gas product is going to be what allows this machine to actually get where we want it to be. And why is that? I told you, we're going to run this machine off of generators, right? Tri-fuel generators. Generators that can run off of gas, natural gas, or propane. Right? We run this machine off the tri-fuel generators, and guess what? I told you this machine makes a ton of natural gas. Guess what we do? We take the natural gas that comes from the machine, plumb it into the generator, and have the machine sustain its bloody self. That's the hypothesis. My hypothesis is, if we build a big enough pyrolysis reactor that operates off of microwave heating, then under the right circumstances, we can have it self-sustain itself and produce more energy on top of that. An absolute positive energy output. Positive energy equation. You said 3. Man's been hanging around too many microwaves. You're saying I've been hanging around too many microwaves because I have 3 balls. Well, guess what? Microwaves actually don't give you cancer. They're not radioactive. So I have not been hanging around too many microwaves. Your mouth has been hanging around too many of my balls. That's what's clearly been happening. PGJMICH on YouTube. That's what's happening. Rachel, thank you for the $10 on Cash App. I appreciate you. You said for supporting science and the youth. I appreciate you so much for your contribution to the project, Mark 4.5. Okay, so that's the goal. Now it's time to question you guys, right? Make sure you pay attention. All right? Make sure you pay attention. Listen, I told you we make gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and carbon out of plastic. What else do we make? What's the next product that we make, right? What is the next product? There's one more product. What do we make? Tell me. Let me know. Because I forgot. Honestly. Okay. There we go. That's what I like to see. All right, you guys are paying attention. Excellent. It seems like my punishment threats have worked because everybody got that right. I don't know why some people are saying jet fuel. I just said we make jet fuel. See, okay, so these people must be new to the stream, guys. They don't know what we do to people that get things wrong. You guys that answer jet fuel must not know what we do to you guys. Like when you get these questions wrong, yeah? You don't know what we do. We take you to the outback. Stretch your mouth wide open, and you can fill in the blank after that. All right? You can fill in the blank. Just saying. There we go, guys. Natural gas, correct. So the natural gas product, you could say, yeah, it's... Okay, so propane and natural gas are not the same thing. It actually has more energy in it than natural gas. Propane compresses different than natural gas. Propane has a different stoichiometric fuel to air ratio than that. So propane is not the same. It's not interchangeable. But if we're talking about the applications, yeah, it's the same. You can cook with propane. You can cook with natural gas. You can heat with propane. You can heat with natural gas. You can run a generator off of propane. You can run a generator off of natural gas. So in terms of like what it is, like energy, yes, right. How much does this machine cost? Well, so far it's looking like Mark 4.5 is going to be about, give or take, $20,000. Mark 4 was about $10,000. So, you know, Mark 4.5 is 3 times bigger. So it could potentially cost 3 times more, but I don't think it'll cost 3 times more. I get as much as I can from scrap yards to help. But some things like the manual, you gotta get that. You gotta get that new. You know, you can't really just. I mean, you could find it at a scrap yard, but what are the odds of that, right? What's the plan to actually power a dozen microwaves? No, the plan is, you know, like I said, run it off a generator, and eventually you'll be able to run itself. But we're going to use tri-fuel generators, so that way we can start the generators off of a more storable fuel. Because, like, if you try to just plumb natural gas that has no pressure into the generators, it probably won't work. But if you take, like, gasoline, you can put it right in. And obviously, we make gasoline, too. So we can take some of the gasoline we make to start it. And then we can once the machine is started and it makes its own fuel, plumb in our stuff, boom. Then the generator's cool, generator's running. What distinguishes coal from the carbon produced? There really isn't much of a difference. Except for the fact that coal is actually dirtier, because coal has some oils and stuff in it. The carbon that is produced from this product has been completely stripped of all organic content. At least that's what you want it to be. You want absolute carbonization, meaning there's no plastic left in the carbon, there's no oils left in the carbon, there's no organic constituents left in that carbon product. That's what you want. That's what we strive for. The microwaves do a great job at achieving complete carbonization, right? But you can burn it. It's carbon. You burn it, it makes CO2. Maybe carbon monoxide reacts with oxygen, right? You can burn it just like coal. You can use it in heaters. I personally don't think that's the best route to go down, to burn the coal, but you can. Like when we're calculating the energy output, the electrical energy output, we do account for the coal as well, because it is energy, it is potential and it's stored energy, right? However, I don't think that's the best use of it. I think the best use of the carbon is actually to use it to gain carbon credits for the machine. And how do we do that? By taking that carbon, making sure it's nice and pure, then burying it in the ground as biochar. And it's going to actually suck CO2 out of the air, because the bacteria and fungi that live within the high porosity of it, the high surface area, are amazing at sucking CO2 out the air, right? So we can do that with the carbon products. And then the actual make it to where if I take plastic from the ocean and I make fuel out of it, and I take the rest of the carbon that didn't end up becoming fuel and bury that in the ground, that makes the fuel that comes from this process carbon negative fuel. Because we are burying carbon in the ground that would have ended up in the air, and that carbon is sucking out more carbon out of the air. So even though we're burning this fuel and it's making CO2, that CO2 is pretty much being displaced by its own carbon from the process, pretty much, right? Carbon negative fuel. Because the process of pyrolysis is already carbon neutral. How is it carbon neutral? You can look it up on Google, it literally is. And how? Because this process emits nothing. There's nothing this process emits. Everything is enclosed, everything is controlled, everything is contained. That's period. Because if we're emitting something, we are losing energy, we're losing electricity. Who wants to lose that, right? You don't even want to lose. I'm not gonna say all that. Anyways, I was gonna go on a tangent there, but nonetheless, we don't lose any type of energy from this process. We try to contain it all, right? Of course, you have some losses here and there, little pipe leaks, little spills, whatever. But for the most part, every single product that comes out, you want to capture it, you want to control it, you want to gather it, because that is your profit, that is your money, that is your energy. So that's what we do here with this process. And of course, we always have new people stop by that just seen videos, and they ask, okay, well, what is the process of pyrolysis? How does it work? So how does it work, right? We load plastic into a reactor, and this reactor is completely sealed and airtight, meaning no oxygen is in there. So since there's no oxygen, the plastic cannot burn. Now, popular, that might be contradicting to hear, because you probably read the comments, you saw a whole bunch of people saying, but you're burning plastics, and you're burning microplastics, and you're burning whatever. We're not burning anything. In fact, it's impossible for anything to burn under the proper environment. And why is that? Because for something to burn, it is considered an oxidation reaction. For an oxidation reaction to occur, there needs to be oxygen. So we have a plastic in an oxygen-free environment, then there cannot be any oxidation reactions or any flames or any smoke, because there's no oxygen to react with the plastic by nature. So the process of pyrolysis differs from just burning something, because you have no oxygen in there. And since you have no oxygen, it cannot burn. What happens to it when you apply heat? What happens is the molecules, the chains that make plastic, right? They break apart, they split apart, and undergo a permanent chemical change, reverting the plastic back to what it came from. And what did plastic come from? It came from crude oil. So if plastic is made of crude oil, we're splitting apart the chains and breaking it back into crude oil. And crude oil is what makes our fuels of this world. Hakuna Matata. There you go. You get the fuels of this world from plastic, because plastic is made of it. It's really, I know it might sound like something out of this world to say we're making like fuel from plastic, somebody who may never have heard of it before, but it actually on a scientific level is pretty simple, because plastic is made of that. It's kind of like saying turning ice back into water. It's like, of course you could turn ice back into water. Ice is water. Of course we could turn plastic back into crude oil, because plastic is crude oil. Essentially the same thing. So it's age-old chemistry that we're doing here. I did not invent the process. I'm just improving it. And I particularly specialize in microwave pyrolysis, which is when, so you can heat up the plastic in the container with anything, right? any type of flame, fire, natural gas, propane, heating elements like ovens, I use microwaves. Why? Why do I use microwaves? Think about it like this. Put a hot pocket in your oven. How long does it take to cook? Put a hot pocket in your microwave. How long does it take to cook? What is always quicker? Put my balls in your mouth. How long does it take to cook? What is always quicker? The microwaves, right? And why is that? Because microwaves heat from the inside out through what we call volumetric heating, right? And in volumetric heating, you don't have to heat up the air around it or the metal container. You heat up exactly what you want heated up right away. That's why your hot pocket cooks so quick. Because the microwaves heat only your hot pocket. Not the air around it, not the microwave body itself, but only your hot pocket. So you waste no heat energy trying to heat up the whole body of the reactor with a fire, trying to burn a wood fire under here and have it... Think about it, guys. Let me demonstrate. Pretend like I started a fire under here. Because look, I even have a burner. Okay, I even have a little propane burner here. This is a perfect demonstration. Okay. This will be a little bit closer in a realistic situation. But let's pretend like we're doing traditional pyrolysis here, right? And we're going to use a fire. This is what regular pyrolysis looks like. Set this on fire. The flame is coming up. Pretend like the flame has to come all the way up here. Okay, the flame has to travel from here to here first. Now that's heat loss there. Why? Because air is around. Air is blowing. Wind is blowing. That's going to steal some heat. All right, so now the heat has to go from here to here. Already loses some before it even reaches here. Now it has to go from the outside of this container and conduct to the inside. Now this is some thick metal. So for that heat to conduct to the inside of that metal, it's gonna lose some more again. Because guess what? It's gonna want to conduct around. It's gonna want to not only go in there, it's gonna want to go all the way around. Basically, places that we don't even need to be heated up. And then when it finally gets inside of the metal, guess what it has to do then? Then it has to go from the inside of the metal to the inside of the plastic. Once again, more heat losses. It's going to heat up the whole inside, circular, circumference, all types of nonsense we don't want heated before it actually heats the plastic. And guess what? Another thing. When it finally reaches the plastic, now it has to conduct from the plastic to the other plastic within the plastic. So there's just too many transfers. It's very inefficient form of heating. This is how pyrolysis has been done forever, and this is why it hasn't been done yet at a big scale, because of this right here. This does not work efficiently enough. It just does. It's too many heat transfers. Guess what? We can literally skip out of all of that by using microwaves. We use microwaves. Move this nonsense. Microwaves literally just go straight to the plastic. That's it. They don't do any of that ring around the rosy nonsense, wasting energy here, wasting energy there. They go right to it. So by nature, it's gonna save energy. By nature, it's gonna be more efficient. That's just how microwaves work. It's volumetric heating. That's exactly how it works. And you know, you can even look in your house and put in the electrical efficiency yourself. Put in the efficiency of your oven, right, with the heating element, and put in the electrical efficiency of a microwave, and you're going to see the difference. The oven consumes way more electricity, and it only really works best in huge batches to be efficient. So burning a flame does work at an industrial scale. It does, but you have to have a huge machine to make it worth it. Huge. Microwave pyrolysis. Look at the size of this machine. It's almost the size of my caulk gun, okay? And this machine is built here by myself at my house. And yet, it was efficient at this size. Homemade. The size of a little table. Okay? So, we didn't have to build a humongous machine to make efficient because we're using microwaves. So imagine if we built a humongous machine with microwaves. Imagine that, and that's exactly what my hypothesis and theory is, because regular pyrolysis with a flame, with all those heat losses, becomes more efficient when you make it bigger. Microwave pyrolysis is already efficient when it's smaller. Imagine when we make it bigger. Now, like once again, I always say this, it's a hypothesis, but in theory, If we make it bigger, it will become more efficient, and it's already efficient. So if it becomes more efficient on top of already being efficient, then it will actually be feasible to be done on an industrial scale. It's the hypothesis, guys. That is the rundown of it all. Thank you, Sarah, for the $2 on Cash App. Thank you, Derek, for the $3 on Cash App. I appreciate you guys for your donations. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. So that's why we're making this next machine here, Mark 4.5, 3 times bigger. Mark 4 was, I believe this was about 40 inches long, 45 inches long. Mark 4.5 is over 100 inches long. We're making it so much bigger because I want to see if my hypothesis stands correct. So then you say, okay, we built Mark 4.5, it works, it's efficient, whatever. What do we do next? Well, if Mark 4.5 works and it's more efficient, and we figure out, right, that making it bigger does make it more efficient, we're going industrial. If my hypothesis is proven correct, we're going industrial. Because if it only is getting more and more efficient as it gets bigger and bigger, and once again, another hypothesis, then in theory, as long as until you figure out what the limit is on scale-wise, then you can just keep multiplying the efficiency. Just keep multiplying it over and over again. So we have to figure out what the limit is. We have to figure out what the size limit is, and we also have to figure out how big we can make these things, right? And how efficient they can get, right? How much more efficient they can become. So how will the microwaves not bug out when a metal fork is in one? Well, microwaves bug out when you put a metal fork in one because your metal fork has sharp points. It has antennas, so the microwaves form plasma off of those antennas. My machine does not form any plasma because there are no sharp points within it. Everything is smoothed out. So that's not the issue in my machine. We don't have plasma formation because of microwaves, because we keep everything nice and smooth. The blades are nice and smooth. What's up, guys on YouTube? What's up, Koa Palm on YouTube? You said, love hearing this guy explain. You can tell he has passion for it. I appreciate you, man. Have you reached out to any science YouTubers for tools or assistance, like Mark Rober? Well, you know, that's the thing. When you reach out to people, it kind of puts you in a power position under them. So it's actually better not to reach out to people. But I remember a year ago, I did try to reach out to NatureJab. Didn't happen. I probably wasn't big enough then. I probably am not big enough now to reach out to NatureJab. But it's usually always better for people to come to you, not to you reaching out to people. Because you come out to people, you're instantly kind of like on their knees, like, please help me, please. You know, it's usually better for them to just come to you, because then it's not like they don't think like you're trying to take advantage of them. Because if they come to you, like if they're bigger than you and they come to you, then how could you be taking, wait. Yeah, so look, if they're a bigger YouTuber, right, and they're coming to you, and they're choosing to come to you, right? So you're not taking advantage of them. They're just like, you know, I respect what you do. But if you try to go up to them and you're like, yo, help me, man, help me, come on, shout me out, put me on your page, put me on your story, then it comes off like you're trying to take advantage of them, right? You don't do that. You don't want to come off that way. Because you come off that way, you already excommunicate yourself too early, right? From everybody. Just wait for people to come to you. If you're doing something true and right and respectable, they will all come eventually. I personally think they'll come a little bit after 4.5 is built and running. We start to make some collaborations with like race cars and stuff, putting this fuel in there. That's what I love to do, guys. We're still gonna run a jet engine. We're gonna run some race cars. We're also gonna do a really long-term engine test on my car. When we make fuels with Mark 4.5, I'm gonna be running my car off of it every day. I'm never gonna pay for gas again. Don't tell Uncle Sam that, but I'm not gonna be paying for gas when I make it myself, right? And of course, who better car to test it on long term than my own? You said, how do you donate, bro? I think YouTube, Coaplam, on YouTube, there has a super chat button. But if you can't find it, you can go to naturejab.com/donate. I'm not sure if you're in the US, but we also do have a Cash App as well. $NatureJab. So you can find all that on naturejab.com/donate. But I appreciate you, man, for your support of the project. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's what this is in a nutshell. This is all a giant hypothesis, but I will also tell you guys this, right? So this is Mark IV, which means I built 3 machines before, right? For it to be the 4th one, that means there were 3 before it. Now, my 3rd machine blew up, but my Mark I and Mark II machine did not blow up. They were functioning machines. They did well. You can find them on my YouTube channel. Well, you can find Mark II. Mark I never was shown on YouTube. But here's the thing, right? Mark I and Mark II operated off of different principles in this machine. They did not look like this at all. They were completely different. And when I had those machines built, I had a hypothesis and a theory that if we designed the machine this way, it would work way better. I designed the machine this way, and it worked way better. So it always starts with just an idea, hypothesis. You can go on my YouTube channel. If you go back, way back, you will find the video where we're like, let's design my next reactor. And I'm literally talking about the design principles of this machine here, which are what we're just implementing and scaling up to this machine here. It always just starts with that hypothesis or that idea, and, you know, just not being scared of failing. Because like I said, my machine blew up. This one has an electrical fire. And even if it didn't blow up or have an electrical fire, even if I built it and it sucked, at least I built it, right? That's the start. You got to start somewhere. It's not about if it's the best right away. It will never be the best when I'm building it at home out of scrapyard microwaves with cutting out blades by hand, right? It will never be the best. It's not about that. It's about doing it, taking the risk. That's what science is all about. Because you know what? Microwave pyrolysis reactors have existed for a long time, but I can guarantee you, you can go and look it up yourself. There is almost no literature on how to build one at home besides my YouTube channel. You could find the machines, but to build one at home, that hasn't existed. And in order to do something like that, right, to be out there and come out and kind of, you know, pioneer, you have to be a risk taker. And that's period. You can't be scared of failure. Because I didn't look, when we were building Mark IV, we didn't know what was going to happen. Because Mark III just blew up. We didn't know if this one was going to blow up. We didn't know if it was even going to work. But we did it anyway. And that's exactly what Mark 4.5 is. I don't know what's going to happen. I've never built a machine this big before with this much power going in. It could literally destroy itself and never work. Or it also could be the best machine ever. It's a risk. It's scary too. You know, turning on 8 of those things at once, 8 to 12, is absolutely scary. It's absolutely terrifying. But guess what? I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I don't care about the risk. I don't care about failing. Cause guess what? If I don't try, we'll never know. I'll never know. And I want to know, of course. Because I've been in this for years now. Going on almost 4 years. And it's amazing to see the progress. And you're remembering, you know, everything you kind of were thinking, and you're doubting yourself along the way. And then you see it all flush out. That's the best part about doing these types of things. And, you know, I know we have so many new people, and we're going to have so many more new people too, especially after Mark 4.5 is built. You know, all you guys are here watching me build this live, talk about it live, and you guys are truly, you know, right now, just a fraction of the audience we're going to have after it's built. But I said the same thing to you guys. I said to those people, if you want to see the whole journey, my YouTube channel, NatureJab, it's in my bio. You can watch the whole journey that brought us up to this point. So then you'll understand truly where we're going. Because it's truly been a journey. It's truly been a journey to get to this point that we are at today. And it's kind of, well, you know, my people on YouTube, because we're live on YouTube too, they already know what's up. They've been here. So they know, they remember the first machine I built. Literally, the first machine I built fit on a tabletop. So to just go from that to a machine that I can't even pick up by myself. You know, we see this thing work. Man, it's going to be crazy. And of course, we're going to do our first test runs live and stuff. It's going to be so... There's going to be so much content to come from this. Because I'm broadcasting everything, you know. I'm bringing you guys along just as much as myself. Because you know what I'm doing differently now is I've never live streamed me building these things. Never. But I figured, no, it's right. It's what's right to do. I got to get a new one of these. This one has a ton of holes in it over the years. So the welding today is going to actually be pretty simple. And I'll tell you why. You see how this thing is mounted? We can just weld it just like this. Now here's the thing. Stainless steel, okay? Man, let me make sure everybody can see this first. Yeah, everybody can see. This is carbon steel. This is carbon steel. This is stainless steel. Stainless steel is different in properties. It heats differently, it warps differently, all types of things. So we have to go slow with the welding. We can't just continuously weld this thing all the way down. We have to let it cool down in between for pretty much everything, because otherwise it'll warp pretty bad. So it's not going to be super straightforward, the welding. So we'll just do a little bit of welding, you know, just a little bit, and then take a little break, a little bit more, take a little break. You know what we do, guys. You know, and besides, think about it. I'm sure people will have questions in between welding, so we can just answer questions. You guys are saying Walter? Yeah, I'm Walter Black. And as all the welds we do here, they have to be airtight welds, because there is no room or no tolerances for leaks. And leaks will actually be dangerous too. It will actually be dangerous. Not only will it be bad for the environment and for everybody around, but it'll be literally dangerous in terms of explosion risks. So we don't want leaks of any degree. We'll take this off here. All right, we're gonna let it cool down for a little bit. Like I said, stainless steel, it'll start to warp if you just if you keep going at it with the welds. Oh, it looks like the TikTok went offline. We got $5 from Bobby Stinson on Cash App. Thank you so much, Bobby Stinson, for the $5. He said, keep going, dude. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much. It means so much to me that you want to contribute to this project and to history. All right, we got the TikTok restarted here. So guys, this is gonna be just like what we did before. We're gonna do a total of probably 6 to 8 welds, 6 to 8 passes. That means going all the way around about 6 or 8 times, because we want to make sure it's airtight, you know. Sorry guys, the TikTok got shut down. They do that to me. They're random. How did you learn about the discovery of turning trash into gasoline? I just looked it up on Google. You know, we live in the internet age. You can really find, you know, whatever you want online. See what you guys are saying on YouTube. YouTube is acting kind of funny too. They just unanimously passed the bill to ban TikTok. Okay, so it isn't hearsay then. I mean, not hearsay, but it isn't just people saying that. Okay, so TikTok is really gonna get banned in the U.S. then, innit? That's true, guys. TikTok is really about to be banned. Is that what it is, really? What's up, guys, on TikTok? I appreciate what you're doing. You inspire me a lot. I'm also doing the same project here in Kenya. Hey, much love and respect always. Always, man. You stay safe working on this stuff. It's dangerous stuff, but I believe in you. I got respect for you. You said no? It's not going to be banned in the U.S.? Or people just saying it? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, because, you know, I know they've been trying to ban TikTok for a while now, but if it does really get banned... You spoke to the Florida representative. All right, so... I don't know, I'm hearing hot and cold here on that stuff. What are the benefits of plastic into fuel? I think the biggest benefit is that plastic waste is invaluable, so much so that we throw it in the oceans, but fuel is super valuable, so much so we go to wars over it. So if we turn plastic, something that we normally would throw away and pollute everything with, into something so valuable we go to wars and destroy people over, then by nature, plastic will no longer be waste. And we will no longer have ocean plastics. Jeff Alexander, thank you for the rose on TikTok. I appreciate you, man. Jones, thank you for the $10 on Cash App. I appreciate everybody who donates. You guys mean so much to me and the project. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got a lot of welding. Does Mark 4.5 run yet? No, not yet. You gotta, you know, let's see, if I were to estimate, how long until we can at least do a test run? Because we gotta build the blades first, put the pipes on, put it on legs, and then put the waveguides in, at least a few waveguides. So, I would give it a month before we can at least test run it. Now, test run doesn't mean it's done. Test run just means, obviously, we can test run it. And see, you know, its functionality. So, yeah. It's gonna be a little bit longer. You said kind of 5-cent bottle produce 10 cents of fuel. Depends on what the type of bottle what type of plastic the bottle is made of. And it depends on the process. How efficient is your process? Does your process consume a lot of electricity? Is your process efficient with the amount of electricity it consumes? You know, there's a lot of variables in that. But historically, up to this point, it normally hasn't really been worth doing. Turning plastic into fuel, that is. But I'm pushing an initiative in the hopes to make it worth it. Thank you for the heart donation, Chef Jaron. I don't think TikTok will be gone. It'll just be forced to sell to an American company. Yeah, for sure. We got $20 from 13,000K or 1,300K. Thank you so much, 1,300K, for the $20 donation on Cash App, man. I appreciate you for your contribution to the project, to Earth and to history, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your donation to Mark 4.5 here. You know, once again, I want to thank everybody who has donated because you guys have made this reactor possible, truly. I'm so grateful for all of you because, you know, we got this manway thanks to you guys. We got these propane tanks thanks to you guys. We got all the valves and pipes thanks to you guys. So I appreciate you all so much for your support. It means so much to me to be able to make this project a reality. So I just want you guys to know I appreciate you all so much. Everybody on TikTok that donated, Instagram bought badges, Cash Apps, PayPals, GoFundMes, all of it, man. I appreciate it so much. What are you doing today, sir? We're welding today. We're laying the metal cool down in between because it's stainless steel, so we don't want it to get too hot on us and start to warp. Is chat slow right now? I'm on Instagram Live as well. I'm on 4 things. But the chat usually slows down once I start welding anyway, in general. Because, you know, when I'm welding, there isn't really much going on anyways, right? That's why we do the Q&As later in the day, because when I'm welding, you know, obviously I'm not seeing your questions. You said, I hope and pray that you don't anger the Matrix. Well, regardless, I'm sure I already anger people now. Light bulb! I'm sure I already anger people now doing this. But that I personally don't give a damn. I'm gonna do what I want to do anyways. When did you learn to weld? I learned to weld in high school. So that's my only type of formal education. I am a certified welder. That's it. But I didn't go to college to learn how to learn chemistry or anything. It looks like we're already an hour into the stream. That's what's up. Good luck, sir. Don't hurt yourself. Thank you, Waffle. Yeah, Waffle. We're gonna be doing Twitch. Probably, if it doesn't rain, I'll go live on Twitch tomorrow. A certified brick house. Exactly. You said it's a Matrix out to get me. I am the Matrix. Exactly, United We Recycle. People say the CIA gonna get me. I am the CIA. Look at how I dress when I'm not welding, okay? You know what I love, guys? I would love some welding gear that looks like a suit. Like a tuxedo welding jacket. I would love that. We got $10 on Cash App from Kanal Richardson. He said, you have me so dead. Never change, bro. Thank you, Kanal. I'm glad I can not only educate, but entertain you as well. It's all about how you plate the food, right? You know, like, let me tell you guys something, okay? Because, you know, it's on how you plate things. Like, most people, when you, like, present them scientific information, it's really tough, especially people that aren't scientists. It's tough to understand because there's a lot of big words. People feel belittled because they're like, I don't know what the hell hydrothermal decarbonization is and stuff. Like, you know, all the type of nonsense terms. If you played it right, then, you know, that's really the key. And you obviously have to say things the right way. Sometimes that does include you got to say things in a relatable way, right? So I know, obviously, thank you, Mini Mushy on Instagram for the badge. I appreciate you. So, you know, like, back in the day, before I was doing this stuff, instead of like serving the process of pyrolysis to people, I used to serve my balls to people. And like when I would just drop it in their mouth, sometimes it'd be too shocking, right? But if I would serve it first with ice cubes, then put my balls in their mouth, I notice like it's better because you start to warm up the blood movement around the mouth, get it nice and stretchy, and then like that. So it's all about how you plate it. So that's how I personally learned on an anecdotal level how to properly plate things. So that way, we'll come along doing science. We're not really making it super science. You said, would a welding suit still be a suit? Yeah, that's a good point. But, I mean, I want it to at least look like a suit. The bill still has to pass the House of Representatives and the Senate. Okay. And so then it has to be signed by the president. Okay, so TikTok is not banned yet. In short, TikTok's not banned. Not yet. But you're right. Even if TikTok did get banned, it'll still be alive. It'll just be sold to an American company. It is crazy the amount of data TikTok collects, though. That's the crazy part. Have you heard of Avatar? Yes. Now, there's a few different avatars, right? There's the blue guys, and then there's the avatar, like... It's cooled down. It's cooled down. Can you process styrofoam? Yes. Brian? Oh, no. Brian on TikTok said, shut up, daddy. Oh, great, Brian. Here we go again. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and weld some more because it cooled down. Weld some more, let it cool. Weld some more, let it cool. You know what we do. Thank you guys for the cash apps, by the way. I appreciate you all. So it definitely needs to cool off now. But it's going pretty well though. It's pretty smooth to weld. There's no huge gaps. I think we have about a quarter of it done. And yeah, like I said, I have to go around the whole thing twice with 3 welds each time to make sure that it's absolutely secure. So that's 6 welds total going all the way around. But obviously, it's worth doing to make sure it's airtight. It's always easier to weld too much than to deal with the effects of welding too little, aka leaks and explosions, right? Everything is buffering on YouTube? Yeah, yikes. Sorry to hear that. Oh, you guys on TikTok probably can't even, you can probably barely even see how I was welding from that angle. My apologies. But anyways, just so you see how they're coming along, these first few welds are not really necessarily for anything other than just filling in the area. And then we'll do welds over these. That will actually be it's going to look like one giant weld, pretty much. And we do 3, because we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Really tying in all the metal. But it's a lot of surface area to tie in, so we're just doing 3 initial welds to just get the thing filled in pretty much. And then we're going to do 3 really broad and high heat welds afterwards. I can't say that word, unfortunately. The S word. The S-U-I word. I can't say that word. Sui. But I can say I'm in amazing mental health. I'll put it like that. I will always live to complete my projects. That's short and easier to say these things, right? I mean, you know, I understand people can be memey or maybe conspiracy, right? But it is good to see that people are aware that the world is not run by good people. That should just be a unanimous fact. We all should know that. The world is not run by good people. And bad things happen to good people. We live in an upside down world. I listen to everything, but right now I've been really loving a lot of French music. It's called French pop, but it doesn't sound like pop at all, compared to like American pop. It's a lot of instruments and it's a lot more of, I guess you could say, real music. While American pop is mostly synths and stuff, French pop has a lot of real instruments in it. But yeah, I really listen to pretty much every type of music. My least listened to music would be American pop, but I very much like it. Music is real instruments because I myself, well, I used to play bass guitar on live stream a few years ago, like last year, but I haven't done that in a while. But so I haven't played bass guitar in a second, but I used to play bass guitar all the time, actually. No, I didn't play slap bass. That was just standard based. I was still building up to that because I was still at the position where the bass string would still be leaving dents in my hands and making my fingers raw for a few days. So I wasn't quite at the slap base phase yet. I kind of slowed down on that. I need to get back to it. So yeah, guys, it's official though. We did decide that we're gonna paint this black. I've already painted the welds black to stop them from rusting, but we're gonna paint the whole thing black. We're gonna leave the manway stainless steel, but the whole thing will be blacked out. Because I want it to look professional, and I can always put my sticker on there and add a little green touch to it. Alright, so I want to do at least half of this for today. So that way tomorrow we can do the other half. So we're about halfway done, guys, and something interesting, which is actually pretty cool too. It looks like it's about to rain, so I had to stop for the day. But I'm gonna show you something cool, because these welds are penetrating, and I'm gonna show you that they are. You can actually see. I have to show all you individually. But look, you can literally see, because I'm welding it up here on the top, on the back, and look, you can literally see the line on the inside of even the weld is coming through this metal. Like, look at that. That's what you want right there. You see we only got about a little bit less than 2/4 left. Let me show the rest of the guys here on the other live streams. So look here, guys, on Instagram. So we're welding up on the back, all the, tying in this to the actual base metal, and you can see the weld literally coming through on the base metal side all the way around, literally pushing through this thing here. Well, that's absolutely crazy. Because this is thick metal. The weld is penetrating through. That's what you call a full penetrating weld there. That's exactly what we need though, because this needs to, sustain the pressures. Show you guys here. Facebook. See that line going all the way through? That's the weld penetrating on the other side. We're welding it up here, and it's really penetrating through on this all the way around. So yeah, guys, like I said, it's about to rain, but we're halfway done of the first, pretty much the root. And then the last 3 welds that we do on top of these 3 that we've already done will be really quick. So, it's going well. Let me show you guys on YouTube here. So look, we're welding on the back, tying in the top to this, and the bottom weld that's on this propane tank, as you can see. Look at that. The penetration literally going through the underside of this propane tank. Crazy, isn't it? Literally. You see it's coming together. We have these 3 initial welds. Don't really look the best, but clearly they're doing their job. They're tying in the metals. And then we're going to do 3 welds on top of those, and those are going to be the welds that we actually want to look good, because they're going to be the caps. So, that's what's up. Looking good.